Cortez.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Us Podcast, a podcast about us.
It's all of us, bro.
And you are currently in level 2.
Church!
Editor Chris, if you could put graphics, do it. If not, just fuck it, whatever. Anyway.
Oh shit! What did you say?
I was saying, Editor Chris, I said if you can put like cool graphics, do it. I'm like, if you can't, don't worry, I'm not gonna get mad.
I do want to see some explosions.
All right. One
Flames?
explosion for peeps.
Right
For the
here,
peeps.
One explosion.
Right here.
We have to get this out of the way right now. The mastermind behind the fucking theme song y'all just came from listening to. This is the guy. This is the guy himself.
It's the Us Podcast, starring Chris Carmona,
My favorite part.
starring Angel Salinas.
There is a in there.
Genius.
So where did
the inspiration come from for that brilliant song? Probably one of the greatest compositions you've ever made.
That's what I'm gonna be known for, man. When I die, that's what I want to be played in my eulogy.
But dude, that's the guitarist for Introverted Funk. Yeah, dude, but nah, he fucking wrote the Us Podcast theme for level 2, dude.
It doesn't matter after
There
that.
you
That's
go.
fucking sick.
What the fuck is your name, sir?
My name is Piano Black.
This is your camera.
PB.
PB,
PB,
aka Peter Barker.
Phyllis Bailey from Connecticut.
What other one?
Parker Barker.
Parker Barker.
Parker Barker.
But
Oh, I think I said this is right. Penis breath.
Penis Bradley.
Penis Bradley.
Penis Bradley better.
But for those who don't know, my actual name is Daniel Valle.
As I just learned like a couple months ago,
I
randomly
was
when I
like,
was
moment.
Daniel? Who's
You're
Danny?
like, cause she's like, hey, like, oh, Danny was in like, who the hell's Danny? I said it's so rude to. Who the fuck's Danny? And she's like,
Fuck
Pete.
Danny. Who the fuck is that?
I don't fucking like Danny.
Like how is he in the video all of a sudden? Like where did he come from?
So, hello, Daniel, and
Hello.
hello.
Vero.
Whoa. AKA, why don't you have fucking nicknames? You should have.
I've had a couple of artist
AKA
names.
V.
The Esquincla.
Veronica. Veronica. Mala was one a long time
Mala.
ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mala.
I just didn't think I was bad enough.
Traviesa.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
I didn't even know
not
about that
that.
one. That was new.
Third Eye Tika has been one.
What?
Third iced tea, hell yeah.
I see the
Third
third.
Iced tea the third, there you go. That's her new name from now on. It's not Veronica Rosa.
Yeah.
Iced tea the
Ice-T
third.
Oh man,
I
I
see
see
the
3. I could see the graphics for that now.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
I see the shirts. I see everything. Well, thank y'all. Well, keeping in line with our whole
Oh,
theme
man.
of coming to a place where the artist can feels most creative, most comfortable, most creative. And we wanted to come to, we wanted to step inside their brain. When you meet the artist, like not only are you get to hear them voice their thoughts and opinions on themselves, their work, but you get to see them within their comfort zone,
Exactly.
more or less.
And these two fucking powerhouse of musicians, we're gonna fucking super gas you guys up. You folks up. They are the fucking
Woke counter. Let's start that.
the nucleus. I
Oh,
would
woke.
say. The nucleus of a band called Introverted Funk. If you didn't fucking know already,
Get on that shit.
yeah, they're fucking incredible. Me and Chris were working on a video with them, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
Yeah. We
Maybe-
directed. We both directed a segment, and also Red Heart Media, friend of the show,
yeah.
Jessica.
Maybe we'll show like little snippets, like boom, boom, boom.
You should
like,
definitely
real
show
flashy.
her.
I only have
Just
my
a picture of
footage,
Jessica.
so you'll see all the cool car chase stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking nucleus of Introverted Funk, a fucking dope ass band. I think one of the first things I remember asking you to is like, what kind of music do you play? How would you describe your music? So I think that would be a cool way to start it. How would you describe it?
Who wants to go
Lately,
first?
we've been just not describing it.
Yeah, you know, it's tough because
Um,
we go through different sounds, man. Like originally, like, you know, we started off just writing like 80s inspired funk music, but we do take a lot of influence from like R&B and neo soul. So there's actually, and I was showing you that song just right before we started filming, like that odd metered 5, like super relaxed, like super weird song, you know. So like it's, I don't know what to describe it. I just know that it's music that's coming from the bottom of our hearts, and just we just wanted to connect with people, no matter where you're from, and that's kind of like the music that I want to represent. So like it's gonna have a little bit of funk, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of jazz, a little bit of Latin, whatever. Because I just try to study all.
Some little Latin spice.
A little bit of that in there. I'm like, hell, some Arabic music. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Whatever the inspiration is coming from, wherever it's coming from, that's what I'll try to put in the music. So.
I gotta say that's what I really like from the stuff I've been hearing from y'all lately when I go see you live. I really like that it's sort of expanded beyond just what your name is.
Right.
From like the first shows
Yeah.
now to like Beto, you were singing some song on Instagram the other day, and I was really high, and I was watching the video, and I was just like, Beto, this is dope. This should be a music video. Like,
yeah, that was the Odd Meter song.
Yeah, but then I said,
you-
is this? I'm like, is this an original? And then you're like, yeah, this is an original. I'm like, whoa, like this. Like, I wouldn't expect this kind of sound from a band called Introverted Funk. So that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Don't expect anything, is what I should
Yeah.
say
Shit.
from us.
Is that why you said you kind of stopped saying? the
Yeah,
genre?
I think because for one, I feel like we don't like boxes in general, and
Yeah, fuck boxes.
Fuck by fuck. If you're a box,
Fuck
shit.
boxes.
If you're a box, fuck.
If you're a boxer,
Yeah,
I respect you.
and
Let's
it just
go.
limits us.
Or if you're moving, maybe we might need you might need
Okay,
those.
roll up when we're moving, but otherwise, fuck you. You heard it here first, boxes, bitch. I had a good
Damn, it's a lot of hate towards the boxes. All right.
Yeah, but it's
No
been
boxes.
it's been nice. I mean, some people are just nice to us, and they're like, "Yeah, you guys are kind of just doing your own thing," and so I've just been kind of running with that.
I literally told Chris right outside before
Yes.
we came in. I was just like, I haven't heard a band like Introverted Funk since like in the past, or since.
He's like, I've never heard
But
of bands sound
like you can hear all the things you're influenced by clearly, but I've never heard it done the way it's being done. With you
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
That
Thank you.
really
Yeah.
means a lot. We definitely want to, like the influence to get by is just that we're influenced by is just about pushing our sound, and me myself as a musician just always pushing myself. I still practice my ass off and always try to get better, learn new songs. So it's just about pushing the sound, man. That's what all my heroes have done. They just learn from their greats, from their era, and then I'm just doing the same thing. I'm just following what they laid the groundwork. You know what I'm saying? So
The teachers.
So, we know, and our friends know, but what most people probably don't know is that y'all are,
Y'all are in a relationship. Are you
Yeah.
single? are you single, either of you? I think the fans want to know.
I think the fans would like to know.
We are in a relationship.
yes, we are.
Aw, damn.
Dang it!
Everyone
All right,
knows.
let's close up shop, everybody. Nothing to see here.
Everyone's like, ooh.
They're like, "Fuck this now."
I'm out.
Turn off.
Like, all right,
I'm
no,
out.
I'm not interested.
Everyone's just like,
Beto not available. PB not
PB,
available. Oh.
Parker's not available. God damn it!
Off the market.
why are you showing me two cool people and I can't even date them?
No, yeah, we're in a relationship. It's really cool. It's really awesome. It has its ups and its downs. Like every other relationship. Maybe
Nice.
a little different because we do make music together. But I think it's really cool because it adds to our art. So, when
I would love it. Metal's like, I don't think that.
No.
I actually think the opposite.
She like uses this as a platform to like voice an opinion, like Joker status. Just like,
here's her-
actually, I have something I
Yeah,
want to
here's
say.
what I
Actually, since we're here, yeah.
It's just like,
Spoiler.
PB, we got you, buddy.
like
Baby,
Tom-
these cameras aren't even rolling.
This is all just like, hey, bro, like,
I'm about to get
Like,
Dr.
we're like,
bro, just fucking toss the mic, bro. Let's be real, dude.
like put the mic away. Hold on.
no, but we wanted to bring that up because actually this was Angel's idea to bring this up because
Yeah.
I think for one it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting case when you meet bands where people are in relationships. Like I think Arcade Fire is that way, right? I think when
There's
Butler,
a couple right now. There's
there's a
the
few.
Marias.
Maria's
Yeah,
too
but-
as well.
Relationship.
Okay, to full transparency, that's actually how we started with this theme.
We were like the Marias. We were trying to think of like a
There's
thing.
another
for the
Puerto
Marias.
Rican band. I can't remember their name, but they're another couple band too. But it's cool. Love's in the air.
So did either of you?
Ashford
I'm-
and Simpson.
I'm assuming both of you made music before meeting each other.
Yes. Yes.
But did you two collaborate musically did you
as
only
their own entities?
like did you only collaborate musically when you got together, or did you?
You know what? No.
No, we were so we met each other at a coffee shop. I trained him.
Oh no way! It's like, hello, sensei.
That was love at first sight, man. I was like,
The first day.
yep, the first day.
Oh, it exists for all the love at first sight
But
haters.
skeptical though, like we were.
Oh, we both would be like,
yeah. We'd be like, 'cause
don't fall in love with me.
Yeah, be single and enjoy. That's the first thing I want to say. But really, it's not necessary. Happiness, a relationship doesn't guarantee you happiness. You have to make sure.
Positively.
Period, yeah.
You have to make sure that
Facts.
you're cool
Church.
by yourself. You know, like
It's
straight
church,
up,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
It's church for real.
Straight up, like
For real.
Like we actually started off as like good like friends, man. Like she actually hit me up one time to do a show with her. And then just finding out that we had a lot of things in common, like collecting vinyl. We like
So you did play before becoming a couple. You played music.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And but I think that was like what was really important about it is that like just before anything we were just really comfortable. I was already cool with being on my own, and because I just live with my brothers and
Same.
I
I was really independent.
yeah.
And
So
we had our own lives.
Yeah, we
And-
literally
and
be
we were
like-
our own separate artists too. So like it's not like a codependency
yeah.
type of a thing.
Can you explain a little more when like that you mentioned you were both your separate artists? Like I guess what kind of an artist were you when both of you met each other?
I was playing an
When we met
ambigu-
each other, or okay.
I was playing an
Yeah, take it
ambiguous
back.
culture at the time with my brother Valle. Drew on the bass too. He was
Drew on
part
the
of
bass.
that.
Shout out.
The
Bing, 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 bing.
some of these posters up
Yeah,
here, yeah,
oh,
that
you
one
can't
right
really
there.
see,
That
but-
was the last album that it was, like a 7-song EP that we put out.
Take a video, Chris.
Yeah, ambiguous culture, man. Like straight up, that's what I was doing, and just producing beats and just more. I was more into the hip hop culture at the time. I've always been a fan of it, but I mean, do you want me to give you my whole history as a musician, where it all started? Or?
when we first
When we first
met each
met.
other.
All right, well,
It all
So it all began.
1922.
I was a young lad, and then
All right, well, I was 5 years old when I first got my guitar.
if anybody's wondering what I was doing there, PB, walk us through your instrument really quick, just so people have a familiarity.
oh,
One of his instruments.
I don't know if we've ever done it like on camera on the podcast, but we
oh, wait, I got the tube fell off. Hold on.
This is really cool.
check him out. Check him out.
Oh, it's a Spice Podcast, and I hope you're having a good time.
Whoa! Clap, 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 clap. It's like adding sound effects. And so we'll imitate PB sometimes, and we'll just be like, "Good morning."
Every time we're like how this is how PB is gonna propose to Vero. It's like, Vero, will you marry me?
Baby, will you marry me?
Oh, so sweet.
and then like before you answer, yeah, she's like not even.
So what's your answer?
That'd be amazing.
She's all that. Sorry. So, from when y'all first met, solo artists.
Yeah.
My turn.
Yeah. You
I was doing a lot of graphic and collage art at the time too, and I graduated with my degree. I got a BFA in musical theater, so I was doing a lot of theater at the time, and I got bored, so I was writing music on my own, but I didn't share it with anybody. Like it was a secret thing for a long time for me.
And was this your first? Like this was your first foray into like music?
I had to beg her to show me. I had to beg her.
Well, I was performing since I was a kid, but it was mainly like other people's music.
And did you play any instruments? That's because I was gonna ask. I don't think I've ever personally seen you play.
No, not really. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know.
So when you like write songs, did you just?
I was
okay.
using a drum machine, and I was actually using this guy. So I can kind of play a little bit, but I'm not like I cannot.
You sample
Okay.
too, though. Like,
Yeah, I sample a lot from records.
That's cool, yeah. Because well, I asked because I remember when I just also so it's helpful for people like who want to get into music too. Because I remember when I first started trying to like do this music stuff, like I couldn't really play much,
Right.
and so like first to start off with like YouTube beats, and then you just kind of start with little. So I that's why I wanted to ask you because
Yeah.
I know PB's like the the
He's the
guitar
the
guitar man.
He's the
God.
wizard.
And I was curious how you were able to still like create or write your songs like when it was just
Yeah.
you on your own, because I was stuck in that place too
I
at
was
some
using
point.
this guy, and it has like some drum pads, and then I bought a couple old like vintage drum machines. I had like a TR-505 and
Vero
an
stays
HR-16.
on brand her
Yeah.
whole life. Vintage everything.
Vintage everything,
Fucking
yeah.
analog.
Vintage lamp.
But yeah, I was playing with GarageBand, and then I like upgraded to Logic. And even when I met him, like I thought I was doing okay, but I didn't know shit. Like really, at the end of the day. But
And what does that mean? Yeah.
I think, in a way, that was a good spot to be because you don't care. You know, like you have no like boxes. You
That's
know,
true,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
just creating, and there's no like rules.
Expectations.
Or
and everything.
expectations, and there was a lot of things that I look back on, and I'm like, I don't know why I cared so much. I should have just like released things, but I don't know. It was just like a personal time for me to find myself creatively.
What did you think of her music when you first heard it?
I thought it was awesome. Honestly, it's not. Some songs have made her set. When we first started playing as Introverted Funk, there was a couple songs that she had completely produced and wrote originally on her own that were in the set. They took them out now, but
Yeah.
they're still there though. But I mean, she has. I almost feel like she could even go do her own. I told her sometime, if she ever wants to do her own solo thing, it's totally possible because she does have her own sound that like it would be really cool. It's really down tempo, super mellow, airy vocals, like, and awesome harmonies. It's really cool. But
Ice-T the Third.
Third coming at you.
Right here.
You got that solo project coming soon.
I see it there. Now that you brought it back, it's a solidified inside joke.
IT3.
That's amazing.
IT3.
So what?
IT3.
So who proposed the idea to who about? Hey, I make music. You make music.
I think
It's we were jamming.
a few times. Well, the first time, as our first single, we wrote while we microdosed on some shrooms, and then we wrote.
so-
those-
Can we
those
say
on-
that?
Wait, what does microdose mean?
So
so-
it's just like a cap and a stem of mushrooms. You're
Or
not
small
doing like a
amount,
full eighth.
not a full eighth. Yeah, it's like maybe.
So you weren't like fucking losing your mind.
No,
Like, yeah,
no,
like
no.
seeing
It
all
actually
types
is
of
like
stuff.
your endorphins you feel really good. You don't have a hangover after. I really recommend it, honestly.
I want to try that.
Yeah.
Mushrooms approved, Vero. And PB also?
I see. The
I
thing.
Yeah.
approve
Yeah.
I also approve.
Did your third
not
eyes
the same.
open?
all the way, man.
I think our third eyes were open before we met each other.
That's true. I mean, it's not the first time I had psychedelics. I just like the smaller dosage because it allows me to be in control. Whereas I feel like sometimes psychedelics can take you to places where you don't want to be. Whereas like microdosing allows you to be in control and be in the moment.
Sick
Like
ass.
you're
You
still
can
in
go to the
control.
grocery store.
Yes,
you know, like,
yes, I want to do
Just
that.
like,
I'm getting shrimps tomorrow, y'all.
Like look at this squash right here. You know, you're not gonna
Watch
be
me
like
fucking
that.
eat them and be like, oh, the stem and the shit. Oh, fuck, I ate them all.
Christian's like cooking with him. And he's just like, these aren't doing anything.
Fucking cook them, you bitch. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, that's and like
I think we definitely had conversations about it because it's.
we
being
had
in
a few sessions. Though. It was like a few
Yeah.
sessions where we were just creating together. Because at that point we had started. We were dating each other, and then it would just be something that we do randomly. Sometimes we would just cook up, and after a while, it's just certain songs started adding up, and we're like,
These are tight.
it was pretty cool, man. Would you want to?
Vero just sit there going, ooh, ooh.
And then yeah, that's
And you're like, damn.
yes. We kind of.
Somehow Drew. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
And
And
then
how did that bad boy come into play?
this.
Because I feel like when I think of introverted funk, like that's a
I
huge
think-
part of the sound.
Did I buy you the talk box? I know I was with you when you bought the talk box.
How did PB get his
Sound.
voice?
Well,
Oh no, because you were using like a vocoder for a long time.
yeah, I was using a plugin, and
Music knowledge time. What's a vocoder?
So a vocoder is a synthesizer that transforms a live signal into essentially a synthesized signal. Like it's like it takes your voice and basically becomes an oscillator. You can turn it into whatever you want. It could be a sine wave, square wave, or whatever it might be. But that's the essential thing that it does. So
What is this tube thing?
so what a talk box does is that this sends the sound into your mouth, and all you have to do is just shape vowels with your throat. Whereas like a vocoder, you have to actually
Sing.
into the mic, and you have to sing as best as you can to make it sound better. Whereas like this is more of the sound is just in your mouth. So.
Oh,
So
okay.
you're not
I'm
making
trying to
any
do. I'm trying to
noise.
like do it right now. Yeah,
You're not making
now
any
I
noise.
see
You're
it.
not making
you're
any
not
noise.
making any noise.
You're like just doing like.
Yeah.
Like-
No
Like-
way. Let's see it
No
again.
way. No way you can't believe this.
Vero, I've never heard you do that.
Can you?
Can you do it?
I can.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm
us
not that
podcast
good,
exclusive.
though.
Let's
All
do
right, let's
it.
see it.
Like I don't know.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Ah, that is so cool.
Like 3 notes.
oh yeah. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh.
Hit single.
But that's how it starts, man.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
But yeah, like it's just you just shape the vowels with your throat. You're not producing any sound.
Interesting.
But with the vocoder though,
I've
it's
honestly
exact
always
opposite.
wondered. I'm like, what is PB doing? I'm like, is he singing?
One
I'm like,
time
I don't
he did.
hear
One time I
him.
did. One time I accidentally did.
There's this video, like the mic was picking up what he
We were
was
playing
saying.
Mary Jane by Rick James. We had to put it in our set, and then there's like a part where it goes do ya.
Yeah.
So it's I wish I still had the video because it's like it's hilarious, but it's like you literally hear like it's like super goofy because like the sound, the note is going into my throat, but it's like the sound coming, so it's like it's clashing. So, and it's hilarious. It sounds super goofy. It's like it's super
And
funny.
I was like, what the fuck is that? I thought,
Because she tells me after the show, she's like, "Yo, man, like,
did you hear that? I
like-
was like, it's maybe someone was singing, but it
uh,
was.
I love that Vero just assumed that it was somebody else fucking up and not PB. She's like, there's no way that was you. Like, that couldn't have been you. You don't
Dude,
fuck
that person in the crowd was really loud.
Like, you really sucked.
But it just happened. I laughed so hard because I was like, I guess I was feeling myself so much that I had started producing sound with my throat. So, and that crashing created this really funny, goofy, like cartoon
You're
sound.
gonna have to recreate it one day.
All right. Maybe I can right now. Who knows?
Oh shit! Ooh, that's some fucking goofy shit. So, whose idea was it to incorporate a talk box into your music? Because, like Chris was saying, when I think about Introverted Funk, that talk box is like a fucking big thing.
Especially when it's an upbeat song. I'm like, oh, here comes PB. He's going to fucking whip out a woo.
You know, man.
I think that's a part of your style.
Yeah,
of
it was-
producing.
It was something that I started implementing into my music because, like, I don't know. I started diving deep into vinyl and into funk music, and then listening to Zapp and Roger, and I don't know, like, and just getting into that and just hearing different types of vocoders and talk boxes. I got really interested in it, and I was like, why don't I just get one myself? I really want to do it. I think it sounds hella awesome, and I started just using it on produced tracks on other beats. Like I have other songs before Introverted Funk where I do use talk box, and that does exist.
So, we're talking about relationships, being in a band. Obviously, both of you vibe really well together, or you wouldn't be in a band and a relationship. But you two are so different from each other. Like,
Yeah.
very different. And so, and I'm assuming that difference also like kind of seeps into like your music and your musical influences. So instead of having you describe yourself musically, how would you describe like Vero musically? How would you
that is a
describe
sick
I don't know where
question.
Angel, sorry, I don't know where Angel whipped that out.
That's
That's
a
a
good
great
one.
I think it's
question.
your
That's a great
finest
question.
moment of the season by far.
Let's see. Man. Vero to me is like she's small but mighty. You know what I'm saying? It's like something that you just wouldn't expect out of a person that like, oh man, she's a singer and a performer, and when she gets on stage, she's gonna get down. And I think, because most of the time we roll around, I'm usually more of the extroverted one. Like, I'm like, wow, yeah, church, whatever,
Like imagine he stops using his voice. He's like, listen. And he's like, I like to have fun. I know I say church.
I'm like, but just so you know, I'm like,
This is how I really do.
So on the inside, but when it's really cool, and I think it's amazing that. But I see her influences, especially coming from a musical theater background. How when she goes on stage, she owns up to it. She owns up to being there, and I think that's what's really cool. I mean, that's what I see, like small in stature, but mighty in size when you see it in person.
Mighty Mouse.
I have to agree. Yeah, that was one of the first things I said. Like,
Fuck.
I'll let the audience laugh track commence.
One for me.
And, like they wait. So anyway, what I was saying, no, I was saying like when I first met, like started seeing like y'all perform. I think the first time we ever met Introverted Funk was at Marty's in Newport in Orange County.
Wow, that was like our second.
Oh yeah, that show
Wait,
was.
I
your
wasn't
second?
there.
Yes, you were.
I was there.
I don't know if that was the day. No, that was the first time we ever went to that spot where we saw that lady kick the window of that place.
Because we didn't.
No,
see
that
them
was
play.
New
No, we
Year's.
didn't see-
No,
we didn't see
that
you
was
play.
you saw me play with Cherry Wine
That was
that
Cherry
night.
Wine.
That was
Yeah.
when that's when we met you two.
Like, that's when we
as
met
people.
y'all.
Oh, I see.
I remember that.
I think the first time we
my-
saw Introverted Funk might have been at that bar. Was it your birthday?
Was it Eastside Love or?
Was her birthday party the first time we saw?
Or
her
was it
play?
at your guys' place?
Or was it?
Yes, that's the first time I've seen you
There's
play
a
at my
fucking
house.
Queso-rama. Duh. Wow.
And I wasn't even out there, but that
Because
was
we-
the first time I've seen.
Because we
y'all.
got introduced to you two like at that show, and the fucking lady kicked away. So for context, there was a show one time, and we're all just getting high outside, and then this drunk ass lady gets kicked out of the bar, and she like starts calling the security guard like a fat ass and just all this shit.
And we're out there,
So
we're smoking,
rude.
we're just kind of,
It's
but
so
like we're minding our business, but we notice the commotion.
And then everyone like once she says like "fuck you, you fat piece of shit," everyone's like, "Yo, whoa, come on!"
And then it started like just like yo, and then instigator me, I was like boo, and then I heard the whole crowd just like boo, and then from like just like calling like, hey, that's not cool. Like we're all booing her. She gets pissed.
She lifts her fucking leg and just kicks with her heel this glass window.
Like
With
some
one kick,
general
shatters it completely, and we're all like,
I think we all ran.
No,
Oh yeah, we all
just
dispersed.
We're all
We
like, we
ran-
gotta go. The
It
cops
was,
are
it's
coming.
time to go,
Yeah.
guys. Put that bowl out
I know,
and then
it was
we're out.
super
All
Just
right.
like, okay, bye.
All right, guys. It was nice to meet you guys. We're going home now. I think right after that happened, everybody dispersed.
Yeah,
we all knew
I
the
keep-
cops were coming.
Well, all that to say, the first time I met Vero, I thought, yeah, like met her and then saw her perform was, yeah, it is that. Even now, it's just when you talk to Vero, she's very chill, very cool, very friendly.
As you
But
can
then
see.
up there, she's just like deep in my emotions. It's like it almost looks like she's like ready to like musically like kick your ass.
But she won't. But you can tell she could.
She can, but she won't. So Vero,
There you go. I hope you like that.
I do. That was a good answer. Thanks.
Now let's see.
So, what is the exact question again?
Like, how would you describe him
How would
musically?
I just musically?
Yeah.
He's a genius.
he is
Dang, that's heavy.
can't confirm.
Yeah, it's like he is so dedicated to music. It's like not only like just being his partner, but like also just being his roommate is extremely inspiring. He inspires everybody around him. He's like an encyclopedia for like all types of things and inspires people to keep like the momentum going as a musician. So it's I'm really grateful that I get to be here and that
Encyclopedia Brown.
Damn tired.
yeah. The other day,
Age for everybody.
yeah.
EB.
The other day, I was like, he was rehearsing for Selena for Sanctuary, which is like, I am very grateful that I get to like just be here and
November
like
1st,
in
come
the
out.
bedroom and like he's like rehearsing things, and I just like I was emotional, but I was fucking crying. I was just like, this is so beautiful.
We're playing "Dreaming of You."
Yeah, dude, that song kills me too.
Yeah.
That song is.
And he thought I was like
tearjerker.
being like an asshole, like and like fake crying, like you're acting. Like, no.
You're like, I'm really moved. Fuck you. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Getting the fuck out of here, you fucking liar.
Yeah. Crass ass. Yeah. So yeah, he's awesome. Everyone who works with him will say like it's a pleasure to work with him.
Yeah,
Very
dude.
touched.
I mean, speaking from experience too, like, okay, so right before we dropped our first episode for the season, Angel and I had everything ready to go. We had everything good, and we're like, shit, we need a theme song. The people that we were trying to reach out like didn't respond to us. Like, hey, we should ask PV. Like that'd be fucking sick if he could like help us out with that. It
was at his birthday party.
Yeah, it was at his birthday party. I see him. We fucking celebrate, and then before I go,
I'm
I'm like,
surprised
oh wait.
I remember. To
I'm
be
like,
honest.
I know, I was like, no, me too. I'm surprised I remember because I was about to say, later, PV, fucking party. I'm like,
Before I go,
wait. And I was like, wait, sorry, I have to ask. I was like, can you help us with this theme song? And within like 2 days, I'm in Long Beach with my girlfriend, and then PV's like, here you go, man. I hope you like it. I fucking played in the car. and I couldn't believe. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And like we heard from Crisol, like when she heard it too,
Oh,
she
yeah.
wanted a fucking jacket too.
So we fucking see you, asshole.
Rematch,
Fuck you.
rematch, girl. It's not over.
It's ours now.
It's our song. But yeah, no, I was so inspired by it. I'm like, dude, how did P bust this down in like 2 days time?
I was just like, fuck you, PB.
Nah.
I called you too.
It wasn't even 2 days. I think he worked on it for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I was just like, fuck you, you asshole. How'd you make something this dope? Like so
Thanks,
quickly?
man.
It was
Dude,
really
it
cool.
was really fun. I was just inspired by my experiences with you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean that was just another thing too. Like Angel told me this before. I didn't catch this, but I really appreciate, respect, and admire how generous you are for just someone that like has not known us that long. I remember you told, or at least Angel, you were telling me that one time PB was just offering like, hey man, if you ever want to take guitar lessons.
Remember I was telling you like, oh yeah, one day when I have a show like and I need some like my actors need to learn fucking guitar and shit, I'm gonna get you to do it. And then you're like, oh that's cool, man. If you ever want to learn how to play guitar, I'll teach you for free. It's all good. And I was like, what the fuck?
Well, when I like someone and then when they enter my circle, you know, they enter that threshold of like, okay, I can trust you, you know. And I don't know. I'm very giving and I'm very open. A lot of things that I've done in my life that I don't expect anything in return out of anybody. If I'm gonna do something for you, I don't expect you to fucking do it back for me. Like that's just how I am. That's how my mom was raised me to be. Like, just do good, and then you know it always comes back. And in the future, like for the video, for instance, like
Exactly.
my homie Pat from Cloud House, that fool lent us his space for free. You know what I'm saying? Hooked it up. I did work with them years ago, you know, giving my time, you know, and all that. There's been a lot of from where I'm at now, there's been a lot of investment, you know, and like just giving my time away, you know, like, but I just have to trust that, you know, just the universe will take care of me, man.
Speaking of the video, fucking I wanna say right here, Vero,
Genius.
fucking
The
monster.
mastermind, the
Fucking
mastermind.
monster of like a producer of just
Oh yeah,
like,
dude, she's a killer producer. Like if you like just like get bored of music, you're gonna fucking make an excellent Hollywood producer.
She got so like
I can't.
we haven't really talked about this music video, and I guess we will now. Like the idea we had, we'll be vague because we want to keep it a surprise. But the ideas we had were so fucking big. We met. When did we start meeting? Like July?
Yeah. Maybe before.
I think it was June. Like right
Yeah.
in spring, like right at the end of spring, like Mayish, and then
That sounds right.
and then we just kept meeting up.
I started my job in Beverly Hills around the time that we started.
Yeah, we started meeting up.
So
And
no, that had to be
Meet up-
July. I think
We'd
it was
we'd
July.
like meet up weekly. We just talk. Get
It,
high.
dude, it was the fucking best. I just want to say it was like the best time of like just like idea workshopping.
Yeah,
the
honestly.
smoothest production fucking ever because everyone was
Yeah.
just on the same page, and only because I'm a burp. I haven't done one of those in a while.
Damn, that's
good.
true. Level 2 shit.
Level 2 shit.
No
Lowering my
burps.
burps.
I don't know how to burp, guys.
What do you mean?
This is
I
a real
really
thing.
don't.
She cannot command burp.
What do you do?
You
It
just go.
hurts. Yeah.
It's just like, it just hurts. That sounds awful. Dude, imagine every time she has a soda. So that's why I don't
I
drink
feel like
soda.
that's how my
It's just
insides
a
are at
painful
all
scream.
times.
like the Tom and Jerry scream.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So okay.
Backtrack.
Yeah, it was such a cool pre-production. Like we were talking about all these big ideas, and then there was a lot of hesitancy in the beginning. Like, what if we can't execute them? We'll be like,
It's just like,
well.
oh fuck. Do you really want to do that? Do you really want to? Oh shit, that's a lot.
And it was like, you know what? Like, we'll find creative ways around it, and like we did.
And Beto knew exactly what the fuck she wanted, so it was easy to be like, yes, no, and you just like fucking keep fucking gassing you up, dog. Very quick on getting just like what we needed.
Absolutely.
Like, I remember the day of filming, you're like, we should get a VHS. Like we should do a VHS thing. I'm gonna go get it, and then like boom, 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 and then you fucking film some.
Okay,
VHS.
and then not just like, oh, I'm just gonna go like into my backyard and just quickly shoot it. Like it was like I remember I said,
Shout out
yo,
Red
this
Heart
is
Media.
fucking
Yeah.
beautiful. I said, when did you guys film this? Like a couple weeks ago? Like no, like
Today. Yeah.
I was like, today? What the fuck? And you'll see it when the music video comes out. Like it's.
It was really fun.
It's
It
this
was
cool
a good
VHS
time,
shot.
man.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
That was my first ever music video. So like the whole experience was stressful, but also really fun, and just I got to create in a way that like I've never been able to do before, and so like
car.
the fact that it happened. I mean,
I was.
I
Oh, the
still-
car! Oh my god!
Yeah, the
How did you
car.
like the fact that Vero made a car, like this really cool? What was
It's
it
like
again?
you just made
SV1, the Bricklin.
The Bricklin,
The Bricklin.
yeah,
Vero
that
just
was.
fucking
She made that
she
happen.
manifested.
Yeah,
She
it
did,
was
straight up.
again like him and are similar. We're similar in the way that like we're kind to our friends. If we have a skill, like it's not just our own. We like to share however we can help.
Absolutely,
And
everybody's got to be on.
Yes, like put each other on, like not just yourself. And yeah, so it was a favor of a friend that I went to college with, that I used to sing with, and it was her father-in-law's. And I had post something, and she was like, "Oh yeah, here you go." So
I have the perfect car. It's like
Yeah.
wow. It's like
it was
meant to
literally
be.
perfect.
And I think it was a lot of it was because there was just so much good energy. There was no egos. I think everybody, we all knew, like there was no like I have to.
The biggest ego, and this is something that we learned recently, is like the biggest ego has to be the project. It
Yes,
has to be the
yes.
song.
That's what matters the most.
Absolutely.
It has to be
we were
like-
just gassing up the project. Not like nice like as, if this is cool for the fucking video, like let's throw that in.
Exactly.
Always remember that. If you're ever stuck on anything creative, whether it be a song or a painting,
Check yourself.
ego
Maybe it's your
is
ego like that's getting
the
in
project,
the way.
the song,
Yeah.
or whatever it might be. Wise words from Terrace Martin, who's one of my favorite
Yeah.
producer musicians.
But boom. But yeah, dude, for it being your first video, such a fucking natural.
Thank you.
Like so good at just fucking not just performing, but like all like Veto was doing double duty, being like producing this shit and being in it. All that fucking makeup. Makeup.
I just have to not say anything.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just we reverse a lot of information that we don't want to get out on the show.
Okay.
It's like a little fun gimmick. So that'll be the one. Remember that.
There has to be a couple every episode just to have it's
Yeah.
a short thing. Yeah, you shouldn't have said that. So, can you two talk a little more about egos since you mentioned it? Like, I mean, as musicians, I mean,
I mean, we all have artist temperament.
Yeah, we all
it's
do,
something
man.
that we deal
So
with.
how do you balance that? Because it's like two superpowers in the same fucking room. I'm assuming you'd clash.
And if I
eventually.
could like add some more sauce to that question. So how do you handle with like getting frustrated as bandmates because you're like, you know what, like fuck this, like we're taking a break, and then you fucking like leave the practice room and
Yeah,
then
go
straight
sit
to
in
the
the-
bedroom. Yeah, it's like together.
Go sit in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's just
Like, you know what?
how does that work? Like I'm genuine, like I really want to get into the mechanics of it.
I think.
You know what, man? We don't really.
I mean,
get
we
into-
don't like. We don't.
We have disagreements, but nothing like we're like, fuck this.
Yeah, we don't ever.
No,
we
no,
don't
like,
ever let it
yeah,
get
we're not
that.
Like throwing shit on like, fuck this.
There are times. Yeah.
Fuck this keyboard. Like,
But there's
Damn.
definitely times where we disagree. Like this recent song, we were disagreeing about something, and I don't know. We just talk it out, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm usually right though.
talk it out, try it out.
Ah, shots.
And Phoebe's like, yeah.
I don't know, like, cause I'm not something that I've definitely, and I've always tried to change because my mom, she suffers from a lot of anxiety, is like yelling. Something that my mom used to do a lot was like when she get mad, she like start yelling. And part of being Latino.
Yeah.
You know, like I put
All
my
our moms
shoes
are
on,
crazy.
like, hijo puta, desgraciado, que estás haciendo?" I was like, mom, like I was, you know, like so something that like, and just with past relationships in life before, I've worked in fucking rugged ass places, man. I've done hard labor in my life and shit. So, and I've had bosses that like literally like yeah, like I would get to yelling, you know, like to try to get something done, and I was just like, and after that, you know, there's something that happened many years ago, and I'm just like, you know what? Nothing gets done like this. Like you just end up
Right.
hot-headed, and like
Absolutely.
I quit that job though. I was like that one specifically. I was like one of those like, fuck this, man. I'm gonna continue my shit as a musician. Like I literally like, I was arguing about where this table needed to be for this production that we were doing. And then we were just arguing. He wanted it like 3 inches that way, and I wanted it 3 inches over there. Arguing about something that was fucking. And like I was like, man, fuck this. So like, I threw the fucking keys at him. You know, I'm out. Stormed out that bitch. You know, and then just like it was an empowering moment for me, just because I was like, man,
Yeah,
fuck
I
this.
didn't
You know,
know
I'm not
that.
like, but because I worked for a factory called CRNA right there. It's in downtown LA, and we did large signs and stuff. And I ran these this Colex machine. It's really cool, man. Super high tech, cutting all types of material, and any large signs that you see throughout the city, like that's what I would work on. And
Sounds like very interesting work.
but boring as fuck too. That's why I
It's
quit.
always you fucking Joke.
Yeah.
Yes, it was also boring.
Yes, and if I wasn't clear, I didn't like it.
Just so you know. But yeah, dude. But
So you never get like super heated.
yeah,
No.
and even when I'm working with different musicians and all that, like it's just one of those shit just doesn't get done once you start yelling. Like to have a disagreement with somebody, I just know, and like I said, from other leaders that I know in my life, like yelling just doesn't do anything. And even past relationships before, like exes ago, you know, like the person I was with, she would yell, we would get in like yelling arguments. Like this does nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're just wasting all this energy and like nothing gets done. So
Yeah, I've never heard you yell, Vero.
I do.
It's like fun fact.
Fun fact, I
I
do. Yeah, no, we don't really yell like that. But when it comes to disagreements, I don't know. I feel like we make it work.
yeah, we make it work. We make it work.
You know what? It's funny that you said you're like, I'm usually right though, because like during
Whoa.
Yeah, he didn't
Whoa,
hear
whoa,
that.
wait, I didn't
He didn't
catch
even
that.
hear
Whoa.
that.
I just hear that part right now.
Here's my experience with that little nugget of information. Like during pre-production of the music video, PB would get carried away sometimes with some big ideas, and he'd just be like, "Oh, what if we did boom, boom, boom?" And then Vero's just like, "I don't know if we can do all that." and then PB's like, "I'd be sick though."
Dude, facts. Dude, PB had some of the coolest ideas. I'm like, damn, PB, like, I'm on that energy, but like, also, I kind of just want to like just shoot.
But
something
also,
cool.
like, we already have like a treatment,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, but
like
also, yeah.
it's kind of like far left.
We're kind of shooting tomorrow.
And he's like, "Yeah."
He's like, we can't add in another car chase.
Come on.
He's like, "My homie has like, another car." He's sick. Yeah.
no.
So I felt that energy, man.
Yeah, I
You're
am
just like
usually right.
The anchor. I feel
Yeah.
like you're kind of the anchor.
I feel, yeah,
Yeah,
I do
would
feel
say
that way.
I'm definitely a little more in the clouds, but so,
I'm the one that like checks the list down, I
And
guess.
you're like,
yeah.
"Do we have this? Good. Do we have this? Good." And you're like, "My guitar."
she'll,
I was like,
Yeah.
"Don't worry."
she'll literally be like, when I have other gigs, she'll be like, don't forget your shoes. Like,
Huh?
you need your
Oh.
dress shirt. Like, don't forget your guitar. Nah, man, but I mean, I think it's really cool. It's like we're like yin and yang, and it works. We bounce stuff off of each other all the time. You know, like we're two different people, but like we make it work. Like I said, even disagreements, man, that we just don't get into. Like, even when in front of our band, like we'll have a disagreement then and there, but we don't get into this like oh, you fucking piece of shit. You sound like shit. You know, like
Yeah.
that's not, to me. That's just not professional. It's
Yeah.
like it's not cool.
Absolutely.
And whoever I'm gonna work with, I'm never like, if you do something, for instance, erroneously when I'm working with you, I'm not gonna fucking belittle you, because I work with people like that, and I fucking
Never do that.
yeah, can't stand those people.
And so I think a big part of why we wanted to come and have a chat with y'all and be in your space and have people get to know more about you before anything more is dropped is because at the moment there's only one single.
There's nothing really
Yeah,
out.
it's like one single.
Like, there's-
Mysterious.
yeah.
There's one
One
single.
single, but we've pretty much we've just been stockpiling and
Right.
writing a ton of
Yeah,
music.
you're moving into your level too. That's why we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because we feel like y'all, not only like is it just such an interesting dynamic, like just the two of you working together, but also like a lot of people don't know that you have a lot of things in the vault.
Yeah, like if you haven't seen them live, you
Absolutely,
don't know what
exactly.
their sound. You don't know what they sound
Like I know all their songs because I've seen them so much, but I'm like realizing like, oh wow, like I realized like people probably like I've never heard any of these songs.
Yeah, when they pull up
Yeah.
to the shows, they're like you just have. I remember one time there was a show where somebody would say, "Oh, you just have one song, man. I just heard that one song, and I had to come tonight." You know, but
That's
no,
cool.
but there's plenty of music in the works.
I
We're
kind of
excited
like
for this
that
video.
we are known for our live performances, which is
That's
pretty
important
cool.
to me,
Yeah,
like, as a musician,
that is something
like-
that both of us were just like. It sucks when you have a favorite song and you go see that performer and you're like, nah.
Oh man,
So that was something that for both. I
I've
mean,
seen that in my
they're
life too many
two
times.
different avenues, but it's important for
Same.
us to be good at both. If that makes
That's
sense.
cool. That's cool that y'all strive for that. And it is so nice. Again, this is the whole point of the podcast. It is so nice that right now in 2019 and October, we live in a time where right now y'all are just known for how fucking good you are live. Nothing's dropped yet as far as this video is being recorded.
So how do the conversations about live performances go? Like, what do you talk about? What's important to you two in a live performance?
Whew, you know, man, it depends on where we're gonna be performing at. Because
It really is show by show basis.
yeah, like for instance, I like Arcus. Like a couple weeks ago, we had to do a stripped down set. That one we did with the Beats. We did a cover of Maps, by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs in that one. But that one's like it was super down tempo, very like we didn't do it like the way they do it. I have a different arrangement for it. So, but next.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Well, no, for Dia de los Muertos on the 26th at the Fairplex, we're gonna be have a little funk medley. Like it's really cool. We do have like a soul medley that we have with one of our songs already, but we're gonna do this little funk medley. We're gonna put in a fatback track in there, really cool funkadelic song.
Some of our favorite like vinyls.
So it just all depends, man.
Some
Like,
of you funk heads,
yes,
you'll appreciate that.
hopefully.
But it all depends. It all depends on what the show is gonna be calling for. Because sometimes we get hit up for 30 minutes, and then sometimes it'll be an hour. For the hour ones, that's where we bring out like all types of sounds and little cool things and songs.
But yeah, I feel like another thing that like what brought us close as friends is that I could go to a show by myself. Like I enjoy going to see live performances and live music, and I think that's why we continue to stay out here.
Nothing more than, especially with the genres of music that like. I remember we tripped out when we went to go. We both saw Hiatus. We didn't know each other at the time. Actually, we were at a Hiatus Coyote show together. But just in different parts of the room.
Different parts of the room.
You know, but like
your destinies were
I think it might have been. I think it might have been cemented that night. You know, but that was one of my favorite.
You're probably
shows
the tall guy in front of me that I couldn't see over.
Oh, damn. I mean,
this fucking guy.
This bitch.
like, I mean, I was smoking mad blunts, so I would have smoked you out. Cause whenever I'm in those pits, I take blunts with me, and like I'm gonna smoke with you. You know, like I'm gonna be like, here,
shit in your hair.
you know. Oh yeah, hair, dude. At the time, my hair was a little short, so I had to put it in my shoe. So there's
pull up a picture of young PB right here.
Oh, dude.
I know exactly the picture of you. Exactly.
Oh yes, Creator Chris, get on it.
Oh man, I could give you a few, dude.
Yeah. I need to see some Baby Veto. Nah, Baby Veto's cute, so it's not funny.
That's true. It's not funny. It's like, oh great, she's always been beautiful, awesome.
Not true. I deleted all those photos.
You're like, as far as you know, I have always been beautiful.
Yeah.
That face is gone.
No.
There's no hidden MySpace?
I hope that's gone forever.
Go find it.
Yeah, if you could find it, you're gonna find like I think that was like when I first graduated high school. So there's like dancing on tables, pictures, like first drunk, underage.
There's vintage.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Y'all have seen Veto. I missed out when
Oh,
Veto
I
was
did.
just.
Oh yeah, we got ratchet.
Let's tell the story. I think that should
was
be
a
our closer.
good-
Now we
That
got
was a
ratchet
good
that
ass.
night. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
we had a good time. That doesn't happen a lot, but
Oh yeah, we
That
got
shit
inner
was
rachetas in
ratchet.
us. Like that's.
We just go to this bar and then fucking Vero starts dancing on the table and I'm like,
Novocaine, shout out.
no, yeah, shout out Novocaine for letting that happen. And then Vero pumped the other people that we were sitting with and they were like, all right, I'm gonna fucking get ratchet too. And everyone just had a fucking good ass time.
Oh no, we've had plenty of ratchet moments even without
Yeah.
you guys. Just so you know.
Dude, fucking.
it's been in us our whole lives.
Yeah,
It's in their blood. The ratchetness is in the blood.
you throw on a YG song. I don't know, man. Who knows what might happen? You know what I'm
You
saying?
never know the
Oh
outcome.
no.
But
yeah.
you know though, but in the archives, I'm sure there's a. Yeah, if you go on YouTube, there's a death metal video of me playing out there.
Oh, there is.
Oh, we've seen it twice.
I've shown it to you
We've
guys.
seen it a lot of times, actually.
then there's, like, mine.
You're like high key proud of that video.
Yeah, you are. You're like,
hey, you want to see this embarrassing video of me when I was young?
It's like, I suck. I really suck.
That's
but
me in the
I
shadows.
do suck. I'm playing trash. If
and,
you're,
like,
all the real
pauses it.
guitar players out there don't know if that shit's trash. They will know.
But like, look at like glance your eyes over at PV while you're watching the video. He's just like probably like,
Just
there
like,
goes
damn,
little
that was
me.
dope.
But that's where it started, man. Like,
Yeah, dude, the roots are so important.
Those jams in my homie's attic, man. Shout out to the old homies from then, you know.
Shout 'em out.
Eisenhower, fucking Oscar, Eric, the homie Edgar. Actually, Edgar Hernandez from Earth Thorough. Old good homie of mine. Shout out to him, man. So if it wasn't for those fools, I wouldn't have started playing music and got into where I'm at now.
All right. Well, we're wrapping this shit up right now. Dude, time flew by so fucking much just because.
I know. I was like, we could talk some more.
Yeah, fucking a 3-hour podcast. Let's do it. Yeah, y'all are super easy to talk to. If you can't tell, like, look how comfortable we are. Like, imagine creating in this space.
And look at they have their own mic set up. Like this, like
Fuck yes.
we're right now. Like I think like this all happened serendipitously. I will admit I fucked up a little bit on my end.
Chris is like, okay, we have one mic and nothing else.
But look how beautifully it all turned out. We got these fucking tie-dye socks like this. I think this is a
Did you
perfect
make these?
I did make them. My family and I we had a bonding like tie-dye party.
like high key. They
you
also
bond?
smell nice. They
Aw,
smell really nice.
good.
I was like, I'm like
they
if you guys
used?
do the episode, I'm just like, yo, these like high key smell pretty nice.
You gotta give us that fabric softener.
For real. What was I saying?
I don't know where you were going.
Serendipitous.
Serendipitous
Yeah.
mistake.
Like right now we are in the world. Like this is what I said before, but right now we are in the world of Introverted Funk, and I think I'm really excited that we get to drop this interview because again, like I said, no EP music yet has been, or music videos have yet dropped, but there's a lot of big things in the work. I mean, the music video we did, again, I don't want to like say too much, but Jesus
It's gonna
Christ.
fucking change the goddamn
Like
game.
I also just want to say too, like as a director, it was just so easy to like. All I had to do, actually Oscar had to do. Oscar,
shout out
who that
Oscar,
DP,
he's right
shout
here
out
sitting
Oscar,
down.
fucking shot this.
You can't see
shot
him, but
this
he's
bad
sitting
boy.
down reading Stephen King's It, like
He-
a studious.
Yeah, I
ass
know. He's
motherfucker.
reading it while we're doing this episode.
Hell
I
yeah,
think
hell
we're in a
yeah.
room full of geniuses, y'all. Like seriously, like the video's
Us
sick.
podcast and murderous clowns.
The energy behind all this art is sick, and I just love that. I don't know. I love that we're talking to you before any of this drops.
Yeah.
It's really exciting.
Real Chris fans know Chris loves the idea of like what
The unknown is the best, man. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Discovery. I think ever since I
Origins.
started,
You like, like,
origins.
origins.
Absolutely. I think ever since I started, even just with like my first movie, I love discovering people. Because at first you think, oh, I can't get fucking Leonardo DiCaprio in my movie. That sucks. But how about discover?
I mean, shoot for the stars, man.
Yeah, no,
I'm-
but how about
I'm like-
discover your own? You know, like I've really come to appreciate in my life, learning like just discovering new people and like nurturing people, like even though they don't have fucking millions of followers. Like no, like nurture those artists. Like I think that goes for anybody. I think if you have a friend that's an artist that just does dope work but doesn't necessarily have the numbers or even like the people paying attention, repost their shit. It literally takes nothing. Like I've learned to push myself to do that more. And with this podcast, I mean, we've talked to people that have already been established. We're already well on their way. And y'all, I mean, we're not even really giving you much because y'all are already well known within your group of friends and even just in the scene. But what I'm honored to do is that I want this to be my equivalent of like reposting an Instagram post on my
Thank you,
story.
man.
Like
Yeah.
with the Us podcast, like we're kind of like letting people like, hey, like put
These
your
fools.
eyes on
It's
these.
like we can't
fools.
tell you why yet,
But
but
do it.
fucking put
Yeah.
this shit.
We're
on
also
your
really
radar.
bad with social media, so like,
If any of you social media people out there want to help these fools
hey,
out,
hey,
there you go. You just in search of.
It's a fun aesthetic.
yeah.
So to wrap this video up, basically wrap this episode up. I don't know why I said video, but since this episode was about couples dealing with being a couple and being creative partners as well, what are some advice to those couples out there that want to create together,
But are too hesitant or scared? They're like, what if?
or like some things?
I
that
mean,
you're, like,
it's
avoid?
every couple is different, and my happiness definitely looks different than other people's happiness. But have patience, be open, honor yourself, honor your creativity, and I think the reason why we respect each other is because we're open as artists. You know, like we love this project, but it's not just this project. It's just we respect each other as artists. So just always do that and be true to yourself. Anything that you have to add?
Yeah, she pretty much summed it all up. Like Tupac says, all good things come to those who stay true. So that's pretty much what I
Yeah,
can
be
do.
true.
Honor yourself. Have integrity. Keep being honest, and that energy will keep reciprocating itself. You know what I'm saying? Laws of attraction. It's all you can do. Be respectful of one
Absolutely.
another.
It doesn't cost
There
to
you
fucking
go.
think good thoughts, to love yourself, to believe in yourself, and just to be like, it can only get better and better and better.
Keep your egos in check.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that's a huge thing for sure.
But I think that's pretty much it. Just being transparent, man. Like, I think that's like the biggest thing is that like if we disagree with something, we say it. Like we're like, yo, that riff,
don't
I'm
like
not
that.
really feeling. Or like, or that sample, or like she's like, nah, I don't like the sample that much. I don't like this drum beat. That snare is not, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
But I like it.
Yeah, that does happen. That
It
does,
does happen
but,
for sure.
But you have to. It's better to be honest than to not communicate that. And I think that's just with every artist in any group or in anything. It's whoever you work with, you have to be honest. You have to tell them straight up. Otherwise, things like resentment and all that bullshit builds. You know what I'm saying? So that's the main thing. Stay true, man.
And that right there is
Damn.
true genius. Learning how to communicate. That's all it takes. Doesn't matter musically. You could be a fucking musical genius. If you're an asshole, if you're someone that pushes people out, that's like no.
If you block yourself from the world,
you're not gonna get anywhere. Doesn't matter how
Right.
talented you are. It's about this. It's about
you gotta
keeping
be
this clean.
fucking nice. You gotta be fucking organized. You gotta communicate. You gotta be.
And just good
Be
vibes,
dope.
dude.
Yeah.
Gotta be a good person.
There's a way to have good vibes and be stern as well.
Smoke
you know?
weed every day.
Yeah, just pretty much
Speaking of
as every us podcast pretty much ends with just smoke weed. Just smoke weed.
Dude, that's the real level. Too.
That's real level too. That's
Can-
we're higher.
can we
We're in a
smoke
higher
on
level
the
than
Us
y'all.
podcast?
You could. Are we gonna
Are we gonna smoke on the S podcast?
Let's do a
Can you
live
smoke on
smoke.
the
Okay, yes, let's do it. We'll
Yes,
we'll take a smoke
Our
and we'll take a
fans
quick
know,
break.
We had a whole 420 episode.
Hell yeah! All right, so let's break. Let's take a quick break and
Well, I mean,
let's.
we're done. We're just gonna this is probably gonna be B-roll, like of us
Oh.
just smoking. Like we're done. So while Vero
Sick.
sparks up, we're gonna say our goodbyes. Thank you again to
I need a lighter.
Peter
Seriously,
Barker
y'all.
and
Peter Barker.
Ice-T the Third,
Ice-T the Third
aka
here.
PB and Vero.
IT3 and PB.
IT3.
IT3PB.
It's a rap group.
Vero's like, oh great.
Like, oh great, you again.
I can't wait to rap. It's gonna be the best.
Introverted Funk. Follow him on Instagram. Listen to him on fucking.
Yeah, give him
all
y'all.
things.
Give him y'all's personals plugs.
ads.
Go for it.
Introverted Funk. It's everything from the .com to the Instagram to Facebook. Introverted Funk. That's all you gotta look up. It's-
YouTube, our
everything.
one single is called Introverted
Yeah.
Funk.
It's
If-
literally Introverted Funk.
Made
It's
it
literally
easy.
impossible not to find them. So
Yeah.
if you are making up excuses, I will personally come to your house and fuck your mother.
Man,
Someone's mom's gonna be like,
I condone. I'm not against that. I am not against that.
And I did it.
like,
I'm
yeah.
like, this is for my homie Vero. No, not my mom. I don't know why I said that, but anyway. Thank you all for your time. Seriously.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Goodbye. That was another episode of the podcast.
it's
Say-
the Us Podcast.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we got a Vero version.
Oh, dude, featuring Vero.
Hey.
Starring Chris Carmona.
Starring
Angel Selena.
Because even when we lose, we win. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
So we're back real quick.
We had a
for
quickie. We're not done yet.
A real quickie story. So Vero, before we started filming, was telling us about her history as a Psy impersonator. For people that don't know who
That's-
Psy is.
Oppa Gangnam Style.
Hey.
Dude, I straight up learned the dance because I had to do a parody of it. But anyway.
Oh man,
So walk us through.
walk you through.
So I know you weren't a sign person. I
I
wrote
wasn't
I
a
wrote it that
sign
way in my notes
impersonator.
just to be funny. But walk us through the story.
So I had just because we were talking about school and because Angel's in college, and I was talking about how like when I first graduated college, I was like I had a lot of anxiety, and so one of my first jobs was I was a waitress in Beverly Hills. There's like a little hair on my face. Humble beginnings, and still like, but at the time I would say like when I was 18 I had like a bigger ego than I had to like knock
think
that
we all
shit
did,
out.
honestly.
Yeah, like I was well,
such a
thought,
shit
like,
at 18.
Yeah, I
Angel
thought
can testify.
I did everything. I'm gonna be famous soon, you know? It's gonna just happen.
Like,
Dude,
I got my
that's
degree
me.
like
That's so me.
soon.
Dude, I fuck
And
with
none of that happened, and everything just felt like shit, and I was broke, and I was waitressing at this. It was called BB Go. It was a Korean restaurant in Beverly Hills, and Psy at the time was their like sponsor. So they literally had like mirrors in front of the restaurant, and they put his face there. He was just everywhere in the restaurant. And so that
I love that gulp that's like, God, like I really lived through this.
this sounds like an SNL skit.
That's rough. That's rough, man.
and I was auditioning and nothing, I wasn't in a show, just like nothing was aligning. So at the time they like thought it would be awesome for them to make these masks, like these face masks of him. And so anytime it was someone's birthday, we'd have to fucking go out as Psy and sing happy birthday and do the fucking dance. And I just was like super emotional, and like I definitely cried behind the mask singing happy birthday to somebody.
During?
Yes, I'm just
During fucking Oppa Gangnam Style.
Okay,
like, what is my life?
Okay, so that's a funny line, but I really want to ask, like, what do you think made you cry in that moment? What were you thinking?
My ego was so big, like I just like I can't
You felt
believe
you were above it? don't want to answer your question for you. Answer. Sorry.
Did
you feel? No, sorry.
Not above it. I was so controlling of like, and that's something like now that I'm really just trying to let go and allow life to just unfold.
Yeah.
Because I think at the time I had planned everything, I wrote everything down, and I just expected life to just kind of pan out the way that I intended it to be. And it wasn't until like my mid-20s that I realized like all the good things that I had no control over. All of the good things that came in my life like was not something that I had planned, so I had to let that shit go. But
Whoa.
yeah.
All that from an Oppa Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
See what you did, Sai? You fuck.
No, well,
But it's a good thing. It was a good thing. Yeah.
You fucking genius.
You
I take that back.
motherfucking genius.
I take that back.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That was an interesting time. Yeah, that was like before I was writing any music. I was just strictly doing theater and auditioning.
And then Vero had that fucking biopic moment where she like takes the fucking mask off in the locker room and she's just like looks at herself in the mirror and she's just like, what the fuck?
Someone comes to her dressing room like, "Hey, Veto, you're out in 2 minutes," and then she's like, "When I go out there, can you introduce me as Veronica Rosa?"
No, dude. Like she's just like smoking a cigarette and they're like, "Vero, it's time," and she just fucking slips the sign down.
She looks to herself and then with subtitles, "Oppa Gangnam Style."
Alright,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Vero, for the fans, can we get an Oppa Gangnam Style dance, please?
Oh shit!
How does it even go? Like it's.
I'll do it with you if you have.
Go, go, go.
So it's like.
Oh,
Oh.
damn, Chris. It's too small for me. Holy shit. There you go. Now you have, if you ever wanted a Chris.
Oh, sorry. The official way was the.
Oh, damn.
Two fellows having flashbacks.
Oh, man. You're about to give her nightmares later, dude. Oh, no.
I'm gonna find the picture and send it to you guys.
Yeah.
too.
Do it.
Yeah.
I want to see what a Psy mask looks like. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. Thanks for listening to another fucking awesome episode of the Us Podcast.
Level 2.
If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow at the Chris Carmona.
You can follow me at AngelISalinas_.
Make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram at Us Podcast and check out our YouTube channels because we really need that support from y'all right now.
Listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on Apple Music. Listen to us on Stitcher. Literally anywhere you can get your podcast.
You literally have no fucking excuse not to listen to us, bitch.
Whoa!
I'm back, baby. Just kidding. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Oh, thanks, y'all.
Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.